Hi, I'm Sean Coleman, and in this video I want to tell you about a concept that I intend to have run through numerous albums of my original music. I'm sure most of you know what a concept album is. It's when there's an idea or a theme or a storyline that runs through a bunch of songs as a whole. Well, that's what we have going on here. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a singer-songwriter, guitarist, bass player, drummer, physicist, philosopher, psychologist, theologian, performer that's been fortunate enough to be doing this for over 30 years. My music is rock with other styles that varies from one song to the next. To give you an idea on what you might hear when you listen to my music, it could be hard rock, soft rock, heavy rock, funk rock, rap, country, blues, soul, jazz, hip-hop, electronic, Latin, reggae, to name a few. Okay, so the concept. What is the concept? Well, I'm going to jump straight to the punchline with this because it's going to need some explaining anyways. So, there's your answer right there. In the form of a poster, the concept is fundamental forces. Okay, so I know some of you are saying, well, what's fundamental forces? In layman terms, you could probably say it's the levels of reality. You have to get into physics, and I know that scares a lot of people, but you don't actually have to get into the math or understand how the experiments work to get a basic idea of what we're talking about. And I encourage you to research it because it's actually, what are we? What are our surroundings? What's the universe? And the inner workings of everything. And it's a good thing to have an understanding about. And as I go on, I'll try to explain a little bit about what it is, but I'd like to give a rundown of album titles. And to do that, I'm going to go to the whiteboard. At present, I already have 2 albums finished with this concept, which is Unified Field and Graviton. The styles, as you can see, is acoustic for Unified Field and heavy rock for Graviton. You might kind of get a sense of where I'm going with this: gravity, heavy, and I'll give descriptions of the other styles too. Because of this concept and me knowing about numerous albums I haven't released yet, I'm actually working on my next 4 albums. I bet you don't hear that often. Okay, so the next albums. Higgs Boson. The Strong Force. Weak force interactions. And electromagnetism. All right, I'm going to go backwards in the style descriptions because this one's going to take longer. Electromagnetism is going to be acoustic. And I know you already saw acoustic up here. Actually, a Unified Field, I actually classify that as acoustic rock because there is a full band playing in that. It's actually all me. Electromagnetism is going to be very stripped down. It's pretty much going to be just acoustic. All right. And then I'm going to jump up to here. This is going to be hard rock. You can kind of see the theme there: strong force, hard rock. And now weak force interactions is going to be somewhere in between. I'm just going to say rock, with the knowledge that each song varies from one to the next. Okay, Higgs Boson is going to be a unique one. This is, I'm sure some people will know what I'm saying when I say I want this to be my Sgt. Pepper or my Dark Side of the Moon. This is going to have no holds barred, anything goes type of attitude, but it's also going to be featuring a different style that I call Colemanian. Now you may have noticed that's my name. This is a style based on a music theory that I created. And to get into that's really another video, so we'll have to wait on that one. I'm also going to add in EMD as another style because I know I definitely want to put that in there. And the cool thing about this concept is I don't actually know how many albums there are going to be because you can just keep incorporating on it and, you know, adding to it. You know, I'm just going to try to get these done and see where I go from that. And but I'm also thinking about re-releasing some old material, and it just happens to be a phenomenon known as dark matter. So, and there's actually a little bit of Colemanian going on in the dark energy because I've already done music with this approach. And this one, I guess I'll just classify this as rock. Alright. So to give you a little description of a little bit of physics background, dark energy and dark matter are unknown phenomenons within gravity that haven't been figured out yet. I should also point out, unified field is believed by many to give rise to all of these, although it has not been proven yet. Many physicists do believe that everything comes out of the unified field. And then gravity, I'm pretty sure most people know what gravity is. Graviton is actually the force carrier in the fabric of space-time. So like I said earlier, you should try to research some of these things. The Higgs Boson, I don't hear too many people referring to it as a fundamental force, although it was discovered in 2012. I'll refer to it as the Higgs particle, like I hear many physicists refer to it as. But what it does is give mass to atoms and to matter, basically. And the strong force and the weak force are inner workings of the atom. They're considered short-range forces, where gravity and electromagnetism are considered long-distance forces. And electromagnetism, I'm sure sounds familiar. This was actually at one time considered to just be electricity and magnetism, but in the 1800s they unified it with math and experiments. So, this is a very important one in our everyday lives, because if we didn't understand how to work with it, we wouldn't have cell phones, computers, TV, the internet, so I'm sure a lot of people will be lost without that. And that pretty much gives a description of this. As we finish up here, I just want to mention a few more things. Right now, it's my goal to just release singles. That just seems to be what makes sense this day and age, because music industry is only concerned about the next hit single. Consumers are only buying music by the song, when they're buying it. Most of the time now they just stream it. So that brings me back to the concept. If you want people to buy your music, you need to give them a good enough reason to do so. So with the concept, it becomes about listening to it as a whole. It's about how one song goes into the next. It's about the artwork, the literature, and really anything that you can add to it that's going to make it appealing for consumers to buy. Some people might wonder, how can you write a bunch of songs about physics? But if you listen to my lyrics, you'll actually realize it's about people and relationships. And in that case, it's allegorical to the processes of the universe. It's very important to me to not convey the concept at the expense of commerciality. And I also want it to be thought-provoking and for all ages. Well, that concludes this, and thank you for taking the time to watch this. And if you're interested in the secrets of the universe, keep an ear open for Sean Coleman music.